Hello and welcome to Whatever Happened to the Gentleman, the podcast that brings you real, no BS dating and relationship advice. I'm your host, Sam Morris, and I have been teaching people how to heal from unhealthy relationships, love themselves, and attract the right partner for over 10 years. So today you have, if you're watching the video version, got me in my lovely gym kit because I felt inspired to jump on straight away. So I apologise. Today's episode is all about one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to get into relationships and when dating. And that is the mistake of losing themselves. But before we dive in, I just want to share a little story about my life from last week. So I went skiing last week in the Dolomites, and I just want to tell you, it was so beautiful and it was warm randomly. But I don't actually identify as a skier. Growing up, I always wanted to go skiing, but money was always tight in my family. And I went to a religious school, so there was lots of kids from all different backgrounds. And every winter, some of my friends would go off skiing, and I was so jealous. So last year, one of my workout friends actually said she was going to go skiing, she was going to Italy, and me and another friend decided to just tag along with a load of people that we didn't know. And now it's become a thing. This year there were 9 of us, last year there was 14 of us. This year was 3 women and 6 men. Not my husband, he didn't come, not my friend's partner. And I honestly had the best time. I fell over a couple of times, and there is nothing funnier than me sliding down a mountain backwards with my feet in the air, wondering if I will ever stop. So why am I telling you all about this? Of course, I know that you want to hear about my life, but also because it ties really perfectly into today's topic. Keeping your own life when you're in a relationship. You see, what happens to so many people when they get into a relationship, and I've heard this time and time again, at first they're so excited about the relationship, they're falling in love, this person is on your mind 24/7. It's like a drug. And before you know it, you're spending all your time together, wrapped up in this intoxicating little bubble. You get joint friends and, you do everything together. And then months or even years later, reality starts to set in and the passion isn't new anymore. And you start craving your own space, your own person. But now your whole identity has been wrapped up in this other person. And I hear it time and time again. After a breakup with the people that I work with, I lost myself in that relationship. One thing that people so often say to me, and I get this all the time, Alan lets you go away by yourself with other men. And my response is always the same. There is no let. We both have our own lives, and we're raising children that we want them to know that it's okay. We both have things that we love, and if either of us feels uncomfortable about anything, we talk it out, because that's what you should do. He went on a golfing trip to Portugal in January. And to be completely honest, I'm not going to say that, I'm a 5-star girlfriend at that time, because years ago, the first time he ever went on a golfing holiday, when we hadn't been together long, I did freak out. Not because of anything that he did, but because of my own insecurities. And that's when I had to do the one thing that I always tell my clients to do. Ask myself, where is this coming from? Because I can only control myself. I can only control my actions, my reactions, my emotions, my behaviours, not his. And when I started to realise that my fears were based on my own past, not his behaviours, I didn't try and manipulate him into not going. We just talked it out about what would make me feel more secure. Would a phone call every day help? And I got over it. And that's how a healthy relationship and a healthy couple handles things. Not by controlling each other, but by communicating and respecting that we are still our own people. Because, honestly, do I want to go on a golf trip to Portugal with him and his girlfriends? Hell to the no. The real issue is that people stop doing their own thing so early into a relationship, so early when they're dating. They get so caught up with their new partner that they start to let go of their own life and themselves. And then 18 months down the line, when the excitement fades, when the dopamine's gone, they suddenly want to reclaim their independence. But by that point, it's kind of too late. The relationship has been built on being one person instead of two. And that is when the conflict starts to happen. So how do you keep your own identity while still falling in love? So the first step, love yourself enough to set your own standards. And this starts way, way before you ever get into a relationship. If you don't know what you value, what you need, what lights you up, you will lose yourself every single time. And if you do need a bit of help with that, if you need a little bit of a self-love boost, I have a self-love blueprint which is completely free, and it walks you through the exact steps of how to build confidence and self-worth before you start dating. So go check that out. I'll put the link in the show notes. The next thing is to prioritize your own life, even when you're in love. And here's how you can do that. Keep doing the things that make you you. Whether that's skiing, reading, painting, hiking, playing an instrument, going out with your friends, whatever it is, keep doing it. Don't let it fade away just because you've started dating someone and you really like them. Keep your friendships. Your partner should not be your only source of emotional connection. Keep speaking to your friends. Keep going out with your friends. Have your own goals outside of the relationship. Maybe it could be a fitness goal, career, traveling by yourself. Have something that is just for you. And set those boundaries, set those standards early on when you start dating. If you normally have a weekly girls or guys night, keep it going and explain that. If you like to take solo trips, tell someone about it. The key is to make it very clear from the start that your independence is not up for negotiation. Schedule yourself some alone time, even if you live together, even if you spend a lot of time together. Give yourself some space, even if it's just a walk, a hobby that you do. I read every single morning and I get up super early to make sure that I get to read by myself without my children, without my husband. Third step is communicate from a place of strength and not fear. When Alan went on that first golfing trip, my initial reaction was fear. But instead of lashing out, making him feel bad, which I could have done, I worked through it myself first. I worked through my problems, and then we had a calm conversation about what would help me feel secure. That is what keeps relationships strong. Not trying to control each other. Not me sacrificing who I am or him sacrificing who he is. But being able to talk, set the expectations, and trust each other. The best relationships are built between two whole people, not two people who have just fused into one. Love should be an addition to your life, not the entire foundation of it. So if you take one thing away from today, let it be this. The moment that you stop being your own person, you stop being yourself, you start losing yourself in that relationship. And that's a recipe for disaster. So if you are ready to start building unshakable self-love and confidence before dating, I have created something just for you, my self-love digital cards. These aren't just affirmations. They are actionable steps to help you take your self-love to the next level. Build that unshakable confidence and set the standards you deserve in dating and relationships. And you can grab them. I'll put the link in the show notes. The digital version is $14.97. If you want the physical cards, they're $67. That is all for today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Please share it with a friend. And please leave me a review. And I will see you next time. Hopefully not in my gym clothes. Speak soon.